What's up? Spyderco. Not a bad spinner. Okay, yeah, so this is a Para 2. Yep. C81 GPCM02. There's a lot going on there, but it's a paramilitary too, and in digital camo. And I like the Para 2. The Para 3 is kind of small for me, I think, just me. But yeah, wow, I like this. So I came across one of these and I thought, I think I'm going to get it. This one's in the digital G10 camo, CPM S45VN steel. Yeah, pretty nice, man. I like it. Yep. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I have the same knife in a Para 3. And I'm trying to decide if I was going to keep one of these, which one would it be? And I think I like this 2 better. The 3's been featured on the channel, got a full video on it. So I want to get this done on this Para 2 and at least cover it on the channel. For all intents and purposes, they are the same knife. They're just different size. The handle scales are a little bit longer and they square off a little bit back here. See how this dips? This one squares off a little bit. But other than that, they are very similar. Similar in grip, ergonomics, the same choil. It's got the same platform ramp for the blade. Does have quite a bit smaller blade as well. Yeah. But this one's covered in its own video, so let's focus on this one. Let's get this out of the way here. It's got a great thumb flick, really nice slow roll, Spidey flick. That's why it's called a Spidey flick, right? Get that hole and whoop. It's running on washers, and so it's it. I had a conversation with somebody recently where I mentioned talking to a good friend and friend of the channel. These are just in a different category. They're not like if I tried to compare this to a titanium lock with washers, it's just not a comparison. They're kind of a different. They're a different breed of cat. They just are. Um, but we are going to get in this and probably polish up some washers and clean it up a little bit. We're going to check it in no different than anything else. And so let's get to it. Let's do that. I think, if I remember right, yeah, that's a T10. We got a little different bit going on there. I think this is a T10. Yeah. Let's swap out, get the right bit in there. Got Loctite in it. It's pretty nice. And then I believe these are T8s, these body screws. Not everybody likes to get into these Spydercos. Some like to leave them alone. I think part of it is getting it back together correctly and then getting the action to function well. Tuning one of these can present it, its own level of challenges, I guess. So this lanyard hole, this spacer and lanyard hole, it's kind of pressed on there. And so you gotta really kind of work it off, and it's coming. It's taking its good sweet time doing it, but there we go. Yeah, so I can definitely improve this washer. It's not polished at all, so I can clean that up a little bit. I think I'll just leave this alone. The detent was good on it. It was running well. I just want to clean it a little bit, the whole thing. Make sure I don't have oil behind the scale. Yeah, it's nice and dry in there. So we'll just wipe all this down and it'll be ready to go back together. And then make sure we've got just the one washer on this side. And I think that's the case. It's what I would expect, but sometimes you never know. Well, and I'm going to have to pull this pivot. I'm going to relocate the pocket clip anyway, so it's not, it's not drama. I am not a tip down kind of dude. I don't even know what that means. It's just not where I want it. All right, let's get, T10. That is really tight, but I'm not going to be able to get this unless I get that loose. And I definitely want to get that. I mean, otherwise this whole venture was a bust. All right, come on, man. Come on, man. Ah, there it goes. Whew, made me work for it. Yeah, it's just Loctite. So now this pivot can come out, and then my washer is good for me right there. So yeah, all right, let's wipe it all down, and then we'll lube it up and reassemble. I don't even need this pocket clip. I do need it. All right, let's give it a good wipe. Nice S45, tall, flat grind blade. I expect this to be sharp. Yeah, we'll see. But I will be shocked if it is not. And for the most part, I mean, really clean. Spyderco knives, I don't find them, taking them apart. I don't think I've ever opened one up new and went, ooh, what's all that? Nah. Yeah, these quality control, man. American manufacturing, isn't that what's up? Like those scales, even though it's digital camo, it's translucent. And so they do take a purple pretty nice. I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm going to wipe these off before I polish them, just in case they got any kind of grease or whatever. And I felt quite the little burr on that washer right there. This one, not so much. But yeah, that one's quite the little burr going on. All right, everything's wiped down. I don't need this anymore. And what belt am I going to use? I'm going to start with this one right here. And then I think I'll finish it on a finer grit. This one didn't have a burr, so I expect this one to polish out pretty quick. I'm going to turn it, like, give it a little turn and then rerun it so that it doesn't end up with a bunch of one directional polishing. Yeah, that cleaned up pretty nice. So I think this side's good. Give it a little turn. Yeah, that turned out beautiful. I thought this side had a burr, but it does not. It's polishing up really nice. Yep. Okay. Now, I do want to run them on a higher grit belt. This is a 3000 grit belt. Now, what's that mean? I don't know. I don't think it means much because they designate these belts just like stones and stuff. Sometimes there's not a lot of consistency in what they're saying it is and what you think that would be. But this is considered a 3000 grit belt for whatever that's worth. And it does a pretty nice job polishing up a washer. Yeah, it's like a mirror. I can see the lights reflecting above in that now. And I didn't do it much. I mean, if I wanted to really get down in here, I could spend 15 minutes per side and just really, really hum it, but I don't think that's necessary. I mean, it wasn't polished at all, and the thing was running really well. And I really didn't notice any oil in here, any lube at all. And so we're gonna rectify that as well. We're gonna wreck it. And then I didn't mention, but these pins are captured. This pivot is captured. Now you got to put the washer down before you put this in. But, of course, the purpose for that is so that you can take it off. Because otherwise, you try to take that screw out, I'd have never been able to do that. This is also a pretty good example of what's happening in this washer knife. So this pivot is holding that washer in place. That washer does not spin against this metal. It's just the blade on top of the washer. Yep. And so, with that said, I am going to put a slight little amount of lube on the washer. And then try to rotate that blade around a little bit and get it to pass that around. And then I'm going to do the same here because I'm going to put that washer down on top of the blade on this side. Yep. And then just because I'm going to put the tiniest little bit on this side, on between the washer and this side, because it in theory could move because this side's allowed to move. The other side's on lockdown. So we'll see. I don't know if it does anything. Probably does absolutely nothing. Okay, so I'm going to leave this loose and I'm going to tighten from the rear forward, but I got to get to my T8. Okay, so I'm going to cinch this one up, and then I'm going to get this one snug, and then I'm going to come back and do my pivot. See what we got. Tiny little bit of play here. There we go. Oh yeah. Look at it. Wonderful. Just a little tuning. Yeah, blade is central. Yeah, let's get the pocket clip loaded where I like it. Down below. Got the fire down below. Come on, man. Somebody will pick up on that, won't they? Somebody from the Midwest, maybe? East Coast, maybe not. More down into that Bruce Springsteen. West Coast, I don't know. What's the West Coast feeling? I mean, at that time, I don't know. Crosby, Stills, and Nash? I don't know. You tell me, man. More meaningful music. All right. Oh. Come on, man. So nice. So nice. All right. Let's get that out of our way. Let's talk about this action. So now that it's tuned, yeah, it's straight up A-level action. Yeah. Let's look at the lockup. I mean, 40%. Wonderful. These compression locks, excellent access. You don't have to, of course, one of the benefits is you don't ever have to put your fingers in front of the blade to run this thing around. You can do it all from the back of the knife, from the safety of the back of the knife, safety of your own home. It's got an excellent thumb flick on it, even without it being tuned. And the Spidey flick now, it's a dreamy drop shut action. Just the blades just freewheeling out there. So it's timing. You gotta, you run this enough, you get that timing down, and you can just simply get that back in place. Yeah, really nice. A-level action for sure. Let's talk ergonomics. So, not so confident, very confident. There's not per se a finger guard, but the way that these lock up, the way that the combat jimping, man, you press into Spyderco jimping, the only way past it is to relieve the tension or to shred your skin. That's the only way through. Same here on the choke up spot. You get down in here, you're locked in. But my spot here, not so confident, very confident. I don't make exceptions much to not like having a legit finger guard, but this is a confident grip, man. I am locked in, locked down, very confident grip right here. Even with wet hands, if I was to get liquid on my hands, I could hold this grip, man. These are so nice in hand. Let's talk about the reverse grip. Nice cap for the thumb. What is it? The triangle, where you whoop, 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 that kind of thing. 100% this works there. And then I can Pakal grip this knife, which has even a better cap for the thumb, which allows me to really bring force down with this knife. Yep. It's angled backwards the way that the blade is. So the whole Pakal concept works really well with the Spyderco Para 2. Really allows me to dig in, to come over, wonderful defensive fighting posture with the Pakal grip on this knife. Let's run the pocket clip. And of course, it's going to run wonderfully. These work great. They're high enough in the front that they just go over thick stuff wonderfully. Now, they're not deep carry. There's aftermarket people that sell deep carry pocket clips. Wonderful lanyard hole. And you'll see a lanyard on these knives a lot. And I guess it's because it's designed for it. But I'm not a lanyard guy, but it's got a great hole for it. But this pocket clip, it's F5, man. F5 tornado, tear off these shorts. But man, when you found them, 20 miles away, when the tornado let go of them, this knife would still be right there. Yeah, wonderful. And just as efficient and effective in standard jean thickness material. Yeah, very good. Dryer clip. My spot in the back pocket. It's raised up enough, very intuitive to reach back and get a hold of these screws, get that out of my pocket. Yep, and I can expect it to be where I left it when I go looking for it. I mean, it is hard to find criticism for these knives. Lightweight, these G10 scales on top of those steel liners. It's stiff, rigid, very solid in hand. Let's talk about safety real quick. Can you contact this blade anywhere? Definitely not through the back. And the tip is way recessed here. I mean, they've got this thing built right. So the clip's good, the tip's good, and I can handle this knife any way I want as long as the blade is closed. It's got great detent, holds that blade in there. Yeah, wonderful. Speaking of that blade, how's that S45? Out of the box. Anybody that deals with Spydercos knows that's what you're getting with a factory Spyderco. Man, they are razor blades. And that tall flat grind, I mean, when you do got to sharpen them up, easy to do. Easy to sharpen these up and maintain them. And that S45, that's no joke. It's good steel, man. Yeah, so price and availability. Yeah, so this version, same with the Para 3 in the S45, the Digi Camo. They're fixed pretty hard at just over $200. But you can buy them like just about anywhere. I think they're available, maybe even on Amazon. White Mountain Knives, I mean, a couple of my favorites. And so, yeah, around $200 for that. So, hey, I appreciate y'all watching, man. It's pretty nifty. And out of the two, I don't know, man. I'm kind of tempted now to just keep them both. I'm sick, man. Call somebody. Help me. See ya.